Life is challenging, and to balance work and life, office and home, and ultimately our inner and outer keeps the pot of life boiling. Good evening, all the viewers. So you can see this is the presentation, which is today's agenda. We have workplace spirituality taught by Dr. Mohandas Hegde and followed by a practical session on meditation, relaxation and meditation. Dear friends, let me ask you a question. Do you know how much time each one of us spend at workplace? I mean, of active hours of the day, you will find that it is more the time we spend with the families or our loved ones. If it is so, then how can we take care of our physical, mental, and spiritual well being at workplace? From Tokyo to Tacoma or from Moscow to Melbourne, office life remains so taxing that one feels fully drained by the time one reaches home. It becomes very difficult to balance ever changing dynamics of office all the time. And now with COVID-19, there is another dimension of dynamics added to it, to work from home. It sometimes makes us feel that peace and spirituality is far off thing and may be possible only in the mountains. I too carried this notion that there is nothing much one can do alongside the job. However, it may be possible after retirement to focus on self and spirituality, although I have been associated with spirituality throughout my office life. I was listening to a recent talk of our global guide, Mr. Kamlesh T. Patel, Daji, which changed my thought process. He said office is a testing ground, like a heat chamber where our inner strength such as the peace, calmness, love, compassion, honesty, truthfulness, etc. is tested every moment. This is like a reality check of the strengths which may be possible, which may not be possible in isolation, and we might get false understanding of these. To throw light on all these aspects, let me introduce the speaker of the day, Dr. Mohan Das Hegde. He has done his doctorate in the workplace spirituality from Mysore University, recognized PhD guide at the University of Mysore in interdisciplinary research. He has been educationist with 25 plus years of experience in economics, human resource development, and spirituality. Published many research papers in workplace spirituality and related subjects, and conducted many workshops or sessions on similar topics. He is also a heartfulness meditation trainer since 1991. Presently, he is working as a director, Center for Research, Education, Sadhana and Training, the CREST, recognized by University of Mysore, Bangalore. List of his accomplishments are too long. Last but not the least, let us welcome our dear Professor Dr. Mohandas Hegde to enlighten us on the workplace spirituality.
Good evening and namaste to everyone. It's nice to hear Brother Raman Kumar welcoming you all to this wonderful heartfulness session where we are going to speak on spirituality at workplace. So without making any delay, let me straight go on to the topic, how important the workplace spirituality is. As my friend Raman Kumar mentioned that we spend a lot of time in the workplace, so naturally it is very, very important for us to understand how can I make my workplace more live enthusiastic, and a place where I can feel more happiness. Let me bring a context out of this and ask you all a simple question. How many of you really understand this aspect where you try and figure out that whenever I go to my office, what do I feel? That's very, very important thing to look into. What do I feel when I go to my office? Whether I feel peaceful, whether I feel calm, whether I feel happiness, or am I feeling more enthusiastic to go to the office? So this is a question which you have to put to yourself, and if the answer is you feel happy and you are enthusiastic to go to your office, and you feel a live environment and enthusiastic environment to work in your office, in that case, I don't think this presentation is required for you, because you are already into workplace spirituality. Still, my guide says that perfection is a process, it's not an end. So let us have a look at in what way we can make this possible at workplace. This is not a new subject. Go back to the ages of Socrates, Aristotle. Go back to the ages of Chanakya or Vedic period. Go back to the ages, back into those emperors and kingdoms like Ashoka, Akbar, Shivaji, any one of these great people. You can imagine, you can understand this aspect that they were the kings who ruled with a lot of accomplishment, and they really kept their subjects so happy. So that was the kingdoms where I still remember reading about Krishna Devaraya, where it has been said in his kingdom the doors were always open. So as a king, as an emperor, they could do it. Why not we? So coming back to the aspect of spirituality, I am not diving deeper into the aspect, but I will just give you a kind of simple aspect like connectedness, concept of connectedness, not only with yourself as well as with the entire universe. Secondly, it is a kind of consciousness that aligns sanctity of all beings. So when we speak about spirituality in a very simple sense, science that studies about myself, self-spirituality, when you look at science that studies about myself. Now already my friend Raman Kumar mentioned that because of the COVID, because of economic status, situation, overall job satisfaction and corporate morale in some places all the time is low. So when we look at this, sometimes monotonous life, unpredictable circumstances, economics crisis, all these things sometimes haunt us. So at that particular point of time, what I need to do as an individual, as a human being, how can I really pull up myself? So that is where I need to look into this aspect of workplace spirituality, where I have to look into this aspect. What is that sense of purpose at work, and how can I connect it? How can I be connected with myself first, then connected with the work environment? It's not only physical resources, it's also human resources, because I know these days we are dealing with physical resources more. We are more with the tech savvy things. We are dealing with our laptops and with our PCs and with our mobiles. Yes, but at the same time, what is my connectedness from within? That's a profound thing, because today we speak about stress, we speak about depression, we speak about many other elements which is related to the mind. It's mainly because there is a disconnect between my head and the heart. We will come back to you with this aspect of how heartfulness can help you in this process. So when we talk about the screening between these two, the live connection between the two, there is a dislink that is taking place. So because of this dislink, my connectedness with myself and connectedness with the workplace community get dismantled. So how can I do it? So it's very important that I have to start with myself. As I mentioned earlier, everyone wants to be happy. Everyone wants to be contented. Everyone wants to be peaceful. You know, when we talk about contentment, peacefulness, happiness, everyone wants it. But at the same time, how can I be? So that is where the concept of connectedness that comes in. So when we look at the workplace as community, we can look at this aspect very, very clearly, that it's an environment. If you are an entrepreneur, if you are a boss, if you are a CEO of the company, how will you deal with the people with? If you are an employee there, what is your relationship right from the shop floor level to the top level? It's a connectivity, it's a link that is getting established. And at the same time, your personal awareness, your value systems, and how happy you can be, how better you can be. So that is the goal when you look at the concept of workplace spirituality. How I'm going to connect with myself, and then how am I going to connect with others. Those of you who are curious and interested, if I have to tell you about my research, as my friend Raman Kumar mentioned about it already, that in my research there are various references. You can see there are a lot of references today on workplace spirituality, where how an industry, a company, institution recovered and became live, not necessarily only in the environment as well as in area of profitability and other areas. So when the employees within an institution, within a company, within an industry are happy, we can find definitely their output level goes up. That happiness is revealed. Today we like certain products, we like certain commodities, we like certain services, service providers. Just R&D. Find out what kind of situation they are actually producing this product, how they are serving to the people, what is that uniqueness they provide. So that actually makes a big difference. It is not necessarily we are not looking at the aspect of the affluence or the development or the growth of the company or an industry or an institution. When the employees who are working there treated well, and the employees, when they deal with their things happily, the things differ. So overall, when you look at this aspect of WPS, you can see internally and externally, people need to transform and change. We need to awaken what I can bring best out of me. My attitude, my thinking has to change. How can I refine myself? So that refinement actually can help me in these dimensions. Meaning and purpose in my life, focusing on the now. Many times we will be running between the past and the future, forgetting about the present. Look at the liveliness of the children. Many times they live in the present and they are most of the time cheerful and happy. So the concept is, when I'm at the office, when I'm at the institution, when I'm at the work, if I'll think about the home, I don't think I'll be able to do the justice. When I'm at home, I start thinking about the office, somehow we have got these shufflings. So spirituality helps you to live in the now. And today, in this moment, all of you watching this YouTube, how many of you can just make a note, how many of you really are in the now? How many of you really are in the present? Are you thinking about your kitchen? Are you thinking about your work tomorrow? Are you thinking about what am I doing here? Question yourself. If you are in the present, you are going to grasp most. And very, very important thing is workplace spirituality, adopting the holistic view of the world, looking at the things in a holistic way. So that is where the difference that comes in. That is where the work environment changes. So moving on further, when we look at, there are ample opportunities when you look at the merits. And you can find the climate of trust, loyalty, honesty, communication and commitment that comes, and of course ethical behavior that comes in. You can see rest of the aspects there, creativity and dynamism. Of course, we are not forgetting about productivity, because many a time people think that if I bring in spirituality into my life, I may not be able to be productive. Not at all. When I'm an integrated person, when I'm a person of enthusiasm, if I'm a person of cheerfulness, if I'm a person who is dealing with the things not as a challenge, as an aspect through which I will be able to through with optimistic approach, then you can see naturally productivity enhances. It doesn't mean that stress will completely go out of my life. It has been said little stress is essential. You go to a doctor and ask this question that, do I have pressure? Do I have blood pressure? Doctor says very clearly that if you don't have the blood pressure, you are a dead body. So I need to have a pressure. I need to have a little bit of stress, but I should be able to manage it. And that's possible with the help of workplace spirituality. So ways and means. We can see various ways and means. Worldwide, International Yoga Day, we are looking at the concept of yoga. Yoga that helps us to transform, to change, become more and more, like what you can say, that relaxed. Pranayama, sermons, we go to church, we go to temple, we go to mosque, we hear all our priests, all our great people, and sometimes they ask us to sit for meditation. They ask us to, introspect. That helps. Coming to the aspect of meditation, even though yoga and meditation are these two things which I experienced in my life. If I have to tell you, I was working at Mumbai, doing earning and learning both, because of this yoga, because of this meditation. Even though my day is to start at 5:30 in the morning and is to get over 10 at night, still there is to be liveliness. There is to be enthusiasm. Why? Because enthusiasm, liveliness, contentment, these things are not anywhere outside. They are within me. It is up to me to encash it. That is where the concept of meditation helps us. It helps us in so many ways and means. Many of us are educated in this, and many of us think that, meditation is not a cup of my tea. And many of them think that meditation is concentration. Many of them think that, meditation means I have to spend so much of time. Imagine something which I invest on, if it can give me a good result and I can compress the time, I can utilize the same time which is given to be more productive. It's a concept of minimum input, maximum output, which we speak about in economics. Same thing as far as this is what I have experienced. When I started meditation, I could make out improvement in professionalism, as well as I used to feel there is a lot of time in your hand. Why? Because now you are more focused. Your work as efficiency has improved. You need not have to look back whether I have done right, whether I have done correct things, whether my relationships are proper, whether the boss, whatever has been said, I have understood properly, or otherwise I have communicated properly. That is where the personality improvement that comes in. So we need to look into this aspect. So everyone meditates. It doesn't mean that many of you those who are here, you are all meditating day in and day out. Only thing is object of meditation differs. When I'm sitting on a dining table and having food, I'm meditating on the food. When I'm driving, meditating on that. Otherwise, my focus will not be so good. So here in our heartfulness meditation, we speak about meditating on the highest. That is the concept which we speak about. So here the concept of how I can connect myself, how I can connect myself within, that's very, very important. And how can I really come up with that joyful existence and the precious gift that we have. It is for the humanity which we are offering free of charge. So when we come back to the aspect of meditation as such, heartfulness meditation as such, experiencing myself. I have got time for the world. I speak about the love for the humanity. We speak about the peacefulness and calmness. What about me? Am I peaceful with myself? Am I loving myself? Am I affectionate towards myself? There was a TED talk which I was watching. A lady from Hong Kong, she was speaking. She's saying that throughout the life she never loved herself. Throughout the life she never loved herself and she became a victim for a deadly disease. Then she mentions that I started loving myself and she was almost free from most of those deadly diseases. What I meant to say, deadly disease as such, what I meant to say is sitting with myself. That's very, very important. Sitting with myself, and many a time concentration is not meditation. Concentration is the result of meditation. So when I practice this, my friend Raman Kumar will explain you further about it later. But when I practice this properly, regularly, that can definitely help in making my life more poised, more balanced. So what are the unique features when we look at? So the very, very important thing here when we look at the concept of yogic transmission. So we will invite you. We have a trainer. Our friend Raman Kumar is one of the trainer in Muscat. So Oman. So he will explain you further. So coming back to the uniqueness of the aspect, you can see pranahuti or the transmission. What is transmission? Definition is given there. So when I sit for meditation, there is a support which is given to me. I remember when I started meditation with Hatha Yoga, I was doing meditation without any support. It was Omkar meditation which I used to do. So there was no support system. When I started with heartfulness meditation way back in 89, my trainer mentioned that you sit with one thought and then relax yourself. That relax yourself made me rejuvenate. Because I need not have to do any mantra or anything like that. So I sat very relaxed way. And then my trainer said, the support system will come for you from outside. That is what he meant to say, transmission. Pranahuti. That can help to enhance. Second very, very important aspect is, unique aspect is concept of rejuvenate. Word itself means again become young. How many of you don't want to become young? Every day when we go to the office or otherwise, we stand in front of the mirror and look at ourselves and say, am I looking smart? Am I presentable? This is external. Am I presentable from inside? This is, in Hindi we have a beautiful concept, चेहरा रूह का आईना है. Your face is the mirror of your soul. Your inside is reflected on your face. So this cleaning process actually, like how at the end of the day you get back home and take a shower and then you say, okay, now I am relaxed. Same way, I have to rejuvenate. Again, giving my own example, whole day from 5:30 in the morning till 10 at night, I used to roam around. You know Mumbai life, those of Mumbaikars, you know very well, running behind the train, running behind the taxi, running behind the bus, go for the class, earning and learning. When I joined Heartfulness, somehow 10 o'clock when I reach home, I used to find a surprise. Maybe I got a place to sit today in train. Maybe I had a little more rest. Few days I was surprised. Then later on I realized I get back home, do this particular cleaning, this rejuvenation process that is to help me to relax my mind. When the mind is relaxed, the body is relaxed. Every one of us, we have got the capacity. Please look into this book where, you know, very clearly it has been mentioned the heartfulness meditation, the concept of heartfulness meditation, the way of the heart. So where it is very clearly mentioned how relaxation actually helps you, how rejuvenation actually helps you to relax well, so that you will be able to meditate better. So coming back to the aspect of workplace spirituality, all that I have to tell you is it's very important for every one of us today at this particular point of time to look within ourselves, connect with ourselves, so that not only me, that peacefulness within me. हिंदी में कहावत है, खुशबू जो अंदर रहता है वो फैलने लग जाता है. The fragrance that is within you, it also starts spreading. So when you enter into your office environment, when you enter into your office, it is not only you, the people whom you are interacting with also will feel rejuvenated and happy. So further, to make you understand more with clarity, more with understanding about this heartfulness, we have heartfulness.org. The website address is here. We have Heartfulness app. You can have download the app into your mobile and you can meditate. We have trainers all over the world, 165 countries. So many more informations are there when you go to our website. My request for all of you is look at your welfare. Look at try and feel that fragrance within you. Be connected with yourself and try and open up that treasure from within, so that it is not only for you, it will help your family members, society, people those who are at your workplace, and the whole world as such. So thank you for this opportunity. I wish all of the viewers, wish you all the best. Thank you very much. Thank you Raman Kumar. Thank you Heartfulness Muscat for providing me this opportunity. Over to Raman Kumar. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mohandas Agde. It was really wonderful and very enlightening session. Now let's viewers feel this fragrance, feel this treasure which Dr. Mohandas has talked about. So we will take you through a small session on heartfulness relaxation. So I will say the instructions and you can just follow it. So we'll be ready. So we'll start with the relaxation technique. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes very softly and very gently. Let's begin with the toes. Wiggle your toes. Feel them relaxed. Relax your ankles and feet. Feel energy move up from the earth, up your feet to your knees, relaxing the legs. Relax your thighs. Energy moves up your legs. Relax them. Now you feel your whole leg has been relaxed. Now deeply relax your hips, stomach, and waist. Relax your back from the top to the bottom. The entire back is relaxed now. Relax your chest and shoulders. Feel your shoulders simply melting away. Relax your upper arms. Relax each muscle in your forearms, your hands, right up to your fingertips. Relax the neck muscles. Move your awareness up to your face. Relax the jaw, mouth, nose, eyes, earlobes, facial muscles, forehead, all the way to the top of your head. Feel how your whole body is now completely relaxed. Move your attention to your heart. Rest there for a little while. Feel immersed in the love and light in your heart. Remain still and quiet and slowly become absorbed into yourself. Remain absorbed for a few minutes. Thank you. So we are coming to the end of the session. We have little time constraint, so we could not do the meditation part. So if you have any questions, please contact us we have the contact details. We will not be able to take questions because this is a live YouTube session, so we are not able to connect with the questions now, but we can reply it if you write to us or contact us. Just on the closing, I would like to just give you a little brief about Heartfulness organization. We are a global organization, and in Oman we teach very effective tools to relax yourself, to regulate your mind, and to build your inner strength with a sense of fulfilling within yourself. So our activities here are heartfulness meditation. We have 3 group meditations in a week, and you can also approach the trainer for one-to-one sessions. We also have value-based education for kids and sharing is caring activities for again kids. We are associated with the United Nations. We have our presence in 150 countries and 13,500 trainers worldwide. In Oman, we have 13 heartfulness trainers, and you can reach to any of them for your spiritual growth. All our services are free of charge globally, so you are most welcome to come and try this. Further, we have 6 sessions. Today was the first session, so you can see on your screen. Tomorrow, do join us. We have another session on the mental health, which is again by a very well-known speaker who's going to take up this session, and followed by the subtle body cleaning and meditation. So you are most welcome to join tomorrow. Please mark the time for tomorrow's session. And thank you. You can also connect to Heartfulness by downloading the Hearts app. You can also subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also we have Heartfulness magazine. You can see the numbers on your screen. You can always note down these numbers and reach to any of our trainers through these numbers. We have Heartfulness website. You can also connect to that and find a lot of information. So thank you again, and hope to see you again tomorrow.